Hi, I'm Christine DiFilippo, and this is Lit News Live. We go now to the unlikely love story that we have been following between the hottest canine couple of the year, Fitzwilliam Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet. After spotting them on outings early this year, they have just announced their engagement and are looking ahead to their marriage. As we have learned, this romance has overcome countless obstacles, and if it was not for each one's own sacrifice, they may not be together today. We go now to our correspondent, who is on location with the couple, and will provide us with a little more background on this love story.
Thank you, Christine. Mr. Darcy and Ms. Bennet, a pair socially unequal from the start, say originally they despised each other. Elizabeth admits her first impression led her to view Mr. Darcy with disgust, and Darcy never even considered Elizabeth because of her middle-class standing. I am here with the happy couple now to find out what changed what was in their hearts. Congratulations, and thank you for being here today. Lizzie, I will start with you. What was it that drove you away from Mr. Darcy?
Well, he was just so condescending and didn't talk to anyone. I just could not stand his foolish pride.
And now, Mr. Darcy, what did you have against Miss Bennet?
I had a reputation and lived in a world that Miss Bennet was not part of. Not to mention I could see the prejudice that she held against me in her eyes whenever we interacted.
Now, I hear there was a turning point for both of you. Can you elaborate on this?
Well, for me, I grew to like Miss Bennet more and more and found I had an undeniable attraction to her. Therefore, I decided to propose. However, I was rejected, something I never imagined would happen to me. Elizabeth was really brutal and gave a blow to my large ego and pride. However, this is what made me start to reflect back on who I was.
My turning point came quite soon after. When Mr. Darcy proposed the first time, I made some false accusations and let my prejudice get the best of me. The next day, Mr. Darcy wrote me a letter and disproved all the prejudices I held against him.
It seems as if you both made some important self-realizations as individuals.
When we found ourselves in company of one another again, it was fate. We were meant to be with one another, but we had to make sacrifices in order to be together.
I had to hold my judgment and he had to hold his pride. These sacrifices allowed for our love to flourish.
And is it true there was a second proposal that occurred?
Yes, after we met again, I saw the changes in Mr. Darcy. He was different in a very good way, and I soon found out that he had even helped my family monetarily when my youngest sister ran off with a mutt who had a bad reputation. I had always secretly loved him, but now it was undeniable.
We both felt the change in dynamic between us, so I proposed again. And now we are sitting here with you today, looking forward to being Mr. and Mrs. Darcy.
We are so happy for you, and we are excited to follow your journey. We thank you for giving us your time today, and we look forward to hearing more details about when and where your marriage will take place. We will be sure to keep in touch. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you in the studio, Christine, but I will be back with Elizabeth Bennet to talk about the new fashion style she has inspired, called the Lizzie Tizzy. Back to you, Christine.
Well, thank you for that wonderful interview. Their love is possible because of the sacrifice that each one made. Now that is what love is really about, sacrifice for one another. We will be back later with news on the new fashion trend known as the Lizzie Tizzy and how it is taking over last year's inspiration known as the Markle Sparkle. I am Christine DiFilippo, and this is Lit News Live. Stay tuned.